Many pros have been considering who would win a fight between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, and it looks as though Floyd has confronted Terence in person. When looking at a potential fight between the two superstars, Shane Mosley believes that Terence would have a better chance against a certain type of Floyd, and he stated, "Crawford hits hard. Crawford is very strong. He has long arms, southpaw, right-handed, and he's coming to get you. I could see Mayweather outboxing him, but I can also see Crawford catching him with one of those funny uppercuts. Money Mayweather, I think Crawford beats. Pretty Boy, I think it might be Pretty Boy because he's more aggressive." Jim Lampley loves what both fighters bring to the table, and he thinks that it gets a little touchy when you try to pick a side in a hypothetical fight. Jim stated, "Floyd Mayweather is an all-time great. Terence Crawford, I think, will turn out to be an all-time great. So it's very hard to pick, and I think it would depend on what moment in Mayweather's career and what moment in Crawford's career are we talking about that taking place. I believe Floyd became a little bit more of a banker and was a little bit more conservative as he went along. It became more and more clear that he could win that way against anybody. It became more and more clear that he built his audience not necessarily so much from the style that he did in the ring as from the style of what he did on social media. That's a different formula from the one that Crawford is using. So I wouldn't want to pick that fight until I saw at what moment in their careers such a thing would take place. It's always dangerous to pick utterly hypothetical fights that are never going to take place except somewhere in your mind. Calvin Ford seemed really excited about the idea of Floyd coming out of retirement to face Terence in the ring.
Question is Floyd gonna come out of retirement and fight Crawford? I remember a statement he said if Terence beat Spence, he'll come out of retirement. So
wow. Okay, that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Floyd. Okay, break it down, Calvin. Floyd against Crawford.
That's a good one, you know what I'm saying? Because you got the old GOAT great, you know what I'm saying, against the new GOAT great.
TBE versus the Pound for Pound King.
Yeah, so that's a good one, you know. That one, the pay-per-views would be stupid.
Tim Bradley really likes Terence's chances against Floyd Mayweather, and he thinks one specific skill would definitely give him the edge. Tim stated, "Terence Crawford would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Crawford, a master thinker just like Floyd, has the advantage that he not only can fight orthodox, but is versatile and can fight in the southpaw stance. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? A guy that's powerful, quick, and strong like Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket." Of course, Brian McIntyre believes that Terence would win in a fight against Floyd, but he also believes that he would win against Floyd in his prime too. Brian stated, "Terence is the best. He's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. There are two things. For one, Crawford is like my son, so I'm going to always go with him. Terence has that dog in him. Terence didn't get to where he is now overnight. It's taken years and years. But if you put Bud in there in his prime with Mayweather in his prime, then of course Mayweather's gonna be the smarter one. But I think Bud will have more dog in him. Bud said that he wants to be one of the best guys to ever lace up the gloves. So you have to do things like that to be great, and that's one of those things where he wants to challenge himself." Greg Hackett doesn't think that Terence would lose against Floyd per se, but he doesn't think that it would be an easy fight for him.
I don't know. Floyd got a weight about him, man. He got a weight about him in that ring with the speed, conditioning, smarts. I don't think it. I know what he did to Earl was incredible, but I don't think it would have been that easy with Mayweather. I think if him and Mayweather fought, we might have had to scene like a trilogy with him and Mayweather. I don't think. What we did see with Crawford is he can make adjustments, and he will make the adjustments, and he will keep his composure, but that's against Earl Spence. To make that argument about Mayweather, I don't know. I'm not saying he can't beat him. I'm just saying I don't think it would have been that easy.
Carl Frampton was one of the first pros to back Terence in a potential fight with Floyd, and he stated, "There's a big statement that I want to make here. The fighter of our generation, everyone will probably agree, is Floyd Mayweather. I think that Terence Crawford is now the fighter of our generation. That performance beats Floyd Mayweather at his best at welterweight. I genuinely believe that." Amir Khan isn't too sure about the idea of Terence beating Floyd, but he definitely thinks that Terence would give him some issues if they ever met in the ring. Amir stated, "Crawford beat him? Maybe not, but would have made him change his boxing style. Crawford has so many styles. If he's fighting you and is not getting the better of you, he'll maybe change to southpaw or to orthodox. Then he can become a pressure fighter. Then he can try to outbox you. A guy with all those styles, it's hard to know what style he'll bring to the fight. I'd love to have seen Crawford in against someone like Mayweather because that's the only person that may have broken him. Terence Crawford brings a tremendous amount of skill to the ring, and Shakur Stevenson knows firsthand just how awesome Terence can be."
Right now, where you at? Like, you start talking crazy to me, we start talking back and forth. This is like the beginning of me and Bud, like, even like just getting around each other. This is how we really became super cool. So, I'm on my way to the gym and I go pull up on him. When I pull up on him, he's in there, he about to spark. So I'm like, "Yo, you gonna give me some rounds?" I'm talking so crazy, like, and this is one of the one times that I had to actually learn that I'm not the best. Like, I gotta me right now, like. So I get in the ring game. Man, this dude got to beating me up. Like, we only sparred, I think 2 or 3 rounds. It was 4-minute rounds. Man, this dude beat me up so bad. I swear to God, that was the worst ass whooping I ever had.
Billy Nelson believes that Terence is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather in general too.
Witnessed a legend, a one-off supreme boxer, absolute masterclass performance. I mean, to produce that performance against such a high-quality opponent, fantastic, just absolutely fantastic. You don't need to be throwing tables at people and shouting maximum violence and, you know, attack guys at weigh-ins. He conducted himself, as did Spence, consummate professionals, and he had a professional manner about him. I think he's better than Mayweather anyway.
You think
he's certainly more likable than Mayweather?
You
he
think
doesn't about throwing hundreds of dollars, eh?
I was going to say, if Bud fought Mayweather at welterweight,
Crawford would beat him. My opinion.
Meanwhile, Jeff Roberts thinks that Crawford would have no problem beating Floyd's outstanding record while he's at it, and he stated, "Crawford is 35 years old. He has 40 wins and no defeats. He can break or equal Floyd Mayweather's 50-0 if he's guided in the right direction and is smart. In my opinion, Terence Crawford is the undisputed champion of the world, and he will go on to beat many more great fighters. Terence Bud Crawford is skillful. He can box, he can punch, and most of all, he's versatile. He's a complete fighter who will always beat Spence because he can adjust. Spence seemed lost once Crawford was able to neutralize his power as he did and not have a plan B, so couldn't adjust. Vidal Riley seemed to be one of the few people out there who believe Floyd could win, and Riley stated, Bud Crawford has an overall of 88 and Floyd Mayweather has an overall of 93, making prime Floyd Mayweather the winner today. Jeff Mayweather, of course, sided with Floyd, but he sees the potential in Terence at the same time.
I think that in their prime, I mean, it'd be a great fight. I mean, both guys are pretty much masters at what they do. And, you know, I mean, of course, I mean, I'm gonna go with Floyd. You know, I mean, I think that Floyd IQ and Floyd's defense was immaculate, you know, and it depends on what weight class you're talking about them fighting at. I think that if they're talking about 35, you know, I mean, I think the fight would even be greater for both of them because that's probably they're both at their best. I mean, Floyd was probably best at 30, but I mean, at 135, I mean, he still had his, you know, he still was actually fighting with with his power more than with his brain, because as he went to, the higher Floyd went in weight, the more he started to fight, the smarter he started to fight. And basically, I think it'll be a great fight. Of course,
Terence thinks that he could hold his own against some of the greatest fighters out there, though, and he stated, "If you put me in the ring with any of the great fighters from around my weight class, past, present, or future, I'll hold my own with them. That's just how I feel. I just feel like our styles have evolved from the older fighters. They paved the way for us, and the things that they adored and were doing in the ring. We mimic them, but we take it to the next level. But I think I hold my own with any of those guys." As for Floyd, it appears that there's still no bad blood between the two fighters, and they were even seen roller skating together. Terence Crawford posted a picture stating, "Two goats just out having a great time roller skating." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.